So what is master data management? Master data management is the business capability that delivers a single, trusted, and complete version of critical data assets to applications and end users to support business processes to operate efficiently and in strategic decision making. So basically what MDM really does is it takes information from across all areas of your company and manages it in one central location. And the end goal of a successful MDM implementation is to consolidate records into entities so that inaccurate or incomplete information about a customer in one source can be compensated using information from all the available sources about that customer in your enterprise. Some of the concepts included as part of MDM are things like customer data integration, or CDI, which is the process of determining a distinct set of customer records and creating a single unified view of the information across all sources. So CDI is, again, it is the same as MDM, except that CDI is the term most commonly used in a commercial space. The other term you'll come across frequently is EMPI, or Enterprise Master Person Index, which is again the same as as CDI, except here we try to collect patient information from across various sources and try to create a single view of a patient. So it is used in the healthcare space. Then we talk about entity resolution, which is again the same thing, except this is used in the public sector or government. So this can be a single view of a citizen or a suspect, depending on which angle you're looking at. Then you have product information management, which is basically where MDM is used to create central repositories of products to manage your, to track inventory, to manage the manufacturing and retail process of the product, to manage the supply chain, so on. Data quality, data enrichment, and extract, transform, and load, or ETL functionality are key inputs to master data management, because these are the tools that are used for migrating data from one location or infrastructure so that it can be consumed by another system. In our case, that being the MDM solution. And finally, the end view, like I said, is of MDM is to deliver a unified view of the information. So let's look at an example here of an MDM for a financial services institution. So on the one hand, we have various sources like deposit accounts, credit card accounts, loans, investments, and so on. And on the other hand, we have various enterprise applications. These applications could be customer-facing, for example, operational or transactional applications, or it could be those that are used for strategic business decision-making, such as analytical applications. So for all of these applications, whether they be customer-facing or analytical, it is important to know the full picture of the customers that the bank or financial institution deals with. So for example, the deposit account for Billy Jones, is it the same as the credit card account for William Jones? Is the credit card account for William Jones and the loan account for B. Jones the same, except that there's probably a typo in the address on one of the records? And how about the loan account of one and the investment of a completely different customer? Are they possibly related, so that giving you more insight of on Billy Jones as well as Barbara Jones? So these are all the questions that MDM tries to answer. So MDM is, it's generally speaking, it's more than a technology platform or a set of tools. We think of it as a discipline that provides a consistent understanding of master data entities and their relationships. It's also a set of technologies that can be used to provide consistent use of master data across the organization and finally, it is also a set of IT practices and processes which are designed to accommodate, control, and manage change in your master data assets. So basically, MDM incorporates and coordinates other IT disciplines to achieve that enterprise-wide system of record for core business activities. And if properly implemented, this will do so for all high-value information that an organization uses across their business. So as I mentioned, master data can be about customers, it can be about suppliers, partners, products, or any domain. And because MDM is an ongoing business and IT function, it incorporates multiple disciplines and technology and can act as an effective foundation on which to develop, maintain, and monitor information governance. So information governance is critical to the success of an MDM project. So let's look at an example here, right? So we already talked about how MDM gives you a view of into a complete picture of a customer. But of what if you could take it a step further, right? So in this case, we have a customer called Robert Potter who might be buying a product that an organization is making, right? And so that might be just about all we know about that person. But what if we could also know that that person shares a household with a Mrs. Roberta Potter, and that the product that this person is buying is made up of certain parts which are built by, a corporation for which Roberta is a buyer, right? And the value suddenly of Robert Potter's association with Roberta Potter suddenly makes him a high-value customer. So here, it's not only giving you the complete information about a customer of yours, it's going beyond and deriving additional value from less obvious relationships. So it can give you relationships across your supply chain or between suppliers, householding relationships, and so on. And these kind of relationships are typically pretty hard to decipher in a business application such as ERP. And understanding these relationships can really give you leverage for in your business. And MDM can enable you to derive these relationships using your own data. So when we talk about an MDM, we're really talking about going from, in legacy systems, it always used to be an account-centric or a policy-centric view, whereas after an MDM implementation, we're talking about going to a customer-centric approach. So most organizations with legacy systems were always focused on what is your account number or what is your policy number. So the disadvantage of that is, there is no complete view of the customer, and there's minimal understanding of relationships of that customer. And finally, the customer may not have a consistent experience depending on which channel of the business he's talking to. There may be more or less information about the customer, and according the customer service that he represents or that he receives might vary accordingly. And finally, from a business growth perspective, not knowing the customer as a whole and not having that communication between various channels of the organization can have many unrecognized opportunities which are left unexplored. So you lose opportunities for cross-selling or upselling to a particular customer. If we move to a customer-centric approach, it gives you a complete view of the customer across all channels of your business, and it gives you a complete understanding of relationships and hierarchies, and the customer receives consistent customer experience irrespective of the channel of the business that he or she is dealing with. And finally, the business is able to leverage benefits by cross-selling and upselling opportunities for the customer. So long we've talked a lot about how master data management can be used to know your customers and their relationships. But MDM can also be applied for products, right? So in addition to providing a single view, MDM can also allow companies to create a single up-to-date repository of product and other core information that can be used throughout their organization or strategic initiatives. So today you would see that, a lot of times product information is scattered across the organization. It could be present in legacy systems. It could be present, or even as scattered as individual Word or Excel documents in certain people's computers. So what happens is reliably delivering that product information or the vision of the company to a number of strategic downstream recipients becomes difficult, time-consuming, and unreliable. So with this, there's no collaborative authoring of products. There's a lack of a single view of products, so that if you think of a product from its inception or design phase all the way to when it gets manufactured and available for in the retail market, there could be a lack of a single view of about that product as it moves across the stages. There's no synchronization with upstream or downstream applications, and there's no ability to publish to commerce sales or commerce sites or product catalogs, etc. Whereas if an MDM solution for products or product information management, as it is called, if that is applied successfully, it can provide the organization a means to author collaboratively and aggregate and distribute product information consistently. It can align with and enforce existing business processes, and it can provide consistent access to consistent product information, as I said, from inception all the way to marketing. And finally, it can help with the product factory build process. So what are the business benefits of MDM, right? I mean, any IT solution that is provided is typically done for business benefits. So if you think of business benefits, you can think of it as a 4 pillars of growing business, right? One major pillar on which a lot of business focuses most of the energy on is how do you increase your revenue or growth. And while increasing revenue is important, cutting costs or cost efficiencies are as critical to the successful running of a business. And in this day and age, the ability to think of and apply strategic initiatives in an agile manner has become more or less life and death for businesses. And finally, in some industries more than others, but in mostly all industries, compliance to government or other regulatory agencies, as well as reducing risk, is critical for the successful running of a business as well. So if we take a look at increasing revenue as a key business driver, a trusted single view of master data can help enable cross-sell and upsell opportunities by enhancing the lead passing capabilities across the channels. So through a single view of the customer, you can also know what are their preferences based on either demographics or the history of purchase and so on. And you can customize product offerings and bundles based on that to be able to sell more to your existing customers. You can introduce new products quickly, and that can help you save or make a lot of money. You can identify high-value customers, and you can derive significant value by again offering them a great customer service, which results in customer delight and reduces customer churn and increases the retention of your high-value customers. And all of these things, as you can see, lead to improved revenue growth for the business. Thinking of cost efficiency as a business driver, so what company doesn't want to do more with less money and less and make more money, right? So, and that's what most of the IT initiatives are designed to, right? Otherwise, why did we automate so many processes? So MDM can help automate business processes such as customer or supplier onboarding, new product introduction, address standardization, and so on. And reducing manual processes can dramatically reduce the data errors, which can be extremely costly. So one perfect example is around customer mailings, right? Each of us would have experienced a situation where we receive the same product information catalog or a solicitation for a credit card or something like that from the same organization, and sometimes you receive multiple in the same day. or sometimes both my husband and I receive the same mailing from the same organization. So if they implement MDM and can recognize these kind of relationships, a lot of such savings can be implemented, and they really do add up as as these mailings are reduced. And finally, you can use MDM can also be pretty powerful when in case of mergers and acquisitions, when you're trying to quickly onboard the customers or products of a company that an organization has acquired into your existing enterprise. Looking at agility or applying strategic initiatives, consolidating data from various silos and integrating them into new systems can help, again, like I said, in case of mergers and acquisitions. It can help meet demands of new business channels, and having that complete view of master data also helps businesses make those
Hello, Ms. Natarajan, your voice is not audible. Hello, Ms. Natarajan. Hello, Ms. Natarajan, your voice is not audible. Can you hear me? Ms. Subhashri? Hello? Ms. Natarajan, your voice is not audible to us. Ms. Natarajan, are you there? Hello? Ms. Natarajan? Ms. Natarajan, your voice cannot be heard. You're not audible. Hello?
Hi, Shweta. Sorry, it looks like I got dropped. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Your voice
Okay.
is not audible. So can you just repeat where you were?
It is not. It is not audible.
Now it's audible, but it's still breaking. Can you be a bit more clear?
Sure.
Okay, fine. Now your voice is okay. I think there was some problem from your side. Now your voice is audible. Okay.
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 Okay, great. Yeah. Actually, I think I was talking about the reducing cost and the business drivers for MDM. Is that where you guys lost me?
Ms. Natarajan, you were there. You were explaining the revenue, agility, and compliance. That was the slide that is open on our computer screen. So you
Oh.
okay?
Okay. Okay. So I think I was talking about compliance when I lost connection, so I'll just talk about that. So as I was saying, all businesses have to comply with certain levels of either internal security policies or customer privacy preferences or government regulations. And the thing is, these requirements also change as organizations evolve and add new processes, or the government introduces new laws, and in terms of tighter customer privacy regulations or other regulatory compliance issues, which might be more applicable to certain industries than others. So MDM can help meet these requirements, and can help with reducing risk. For example, in the previous example we talked about, where if you know that the Billy Jones who's applying for a credit card already has exposure with you in terms of either all the different types of instruments where an organization has a credit exposure with this customer, it can help the business make an intelligent decision on whether or not a credit card application should be honored, and if so, what a credit limit should be, and so on. So it can help reduce risk. It can help with controlling access to data, adhere to government and corporate regulations, and manage customer privacy preferences. So who cares about master data management, right? So master data management is typically identified by IT, but the driver is a lot of times business, because it affects the business directly. So without the support of the business, MDM initiatives can rarely succeed. So business owners, such as those who are in operations, marketing, and customer service, are interested in MDM because they have challenges around gaining a single view to drive processes such as mailing, marketing, or customer service. Through a single view of their customer, they can reduce costs by reducing the duplicate mailings. They can improve customer service by providing a consistent customer service to their customers across all business channels. And they can drive additional revenues through improved cross-sell and upsell opportunities. IT owners, such as data architects and IT strategists, also look at, are also enablers for an MDM implementation, because they are the ones who look at their enterprise architecture, and they understand that common master data exists typically in siloed systems. And when asked by business for a single view, they have a difficult time providing that. So they see the value that MDM brings to system consolidation and data accuracy. In certain applications, the implementation of MDM can also lead to the retirement of certain legacy systems, which means that the IT enablers, such as the CIOs or data architects, etc., have fewer systems to maintain and worry about. And finally, governance owners, such as data stewards, need solutions that include security and policies to control and monitor data. And these people, again, are, can appreciate the value of an MDM implementation. So now, to just give you a brief introduction to the IBM InfoSphere platform itself, right? The IBM InfoSphere platform is, it focuses on a few key items. The first being reflected in the center of the sphere, and this is information integration, which is the ability to discover, profile, and transform, and finally integrate information from many sources into a single point. Surrounding that, we have foundational capabilities such as data quality, lifecycle management, and security and privacy. So data quality typically involves things like standardizing and cleansing of data from the various sources that is collected. Lifecycle management includes things like test data management, archiving of information, and a critical point of data management is also understanding when data should be archived and retired to manage data in an optimal way. And security and privacy, it ranges from database activity monitoring through to encryption and redaction of sensitive information, or providing access in a controlled fashion, and so on. And surrounding that, we have master data management, that, as we've talked about, strives to provide a single view of customers, products, suppliers, etc. We have data warehousing, and then we have today's jazz words, big data, right? Where we are trying to manage a huge variety, volume, and velocity of information for business analytics. So this is the InfoSphere platform in complete, and it is, as you can see, it's a trusted platform for all your information management needs. So it's intelligent, integrated, and comprehensive.
Ms. Natarajan, I would like to interrupt you. I'm really sorry, but your slides are not updating. We are still on that same slide, master data management business drivers. So can you just, go to the slide where you are talking what you're talking
it's
about?
not?
No, it's not moving.
Okay, maybe let me pause and play again.
Yeah. Okay, now I can see the InfoSphere. We can see that.
Yeah, the InfoSphere. So I guess I'll just give people 2 seconds to look at the slide. So basically, like I was saying, at the center we have information integration. Surrounding that, we have features like data quality, life cycle, and security and policy, privacy. And finally, we have master data management, data warehousing, and big data. Okay, can you see my slide move?
It's not yet moved. We are still on that InfoSphere.
Still on InfoSphere. Has it moved now?
Natarajan, it hasn't yet.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Can you see now?
There's some problem because your slides are freezed on that particular slide, InfoSphere 1, and it's not moving. So I think there's some problem in your internet connection might be.
Okay. Okay. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, can you see now?
There's no change, ma'am. I think there is some problem in the internet connection.
There's no change?
No, there's no change.
Okay. Let me disconnect and try and reconnect my internet. Is it still the same?
Yes, ma'am, it's still the same.
Oh, God. Okay. Any change?
See any change, ma'am? I'm really sorry. There is some problem in the internet connection. I don't know what the problem is. I can still see that InfoSphere slide right now.
Okay, let me try a different network.